Hey guys, a big hello to everyone.
Hello everyone.
Today Demon and I went out to this wonderful pond to tell you about 5 DIY fishing projects.
These DIY projects were invented elders, so to speak, from the times of the USSR. So, let's go.
And the first DIY project we're going to tell you about, guys, is the rubber band. I don't know why it has become less popular now than it used to be, but our grandfathers always fished with it back in the day. I fished with it in my childhood, and Diamond fished with it in his childhood too. And we're going to tell you about it now. So this, guys, is a tackle from the times of the USSR, for real. This is just a regular rubber band. Well, it's just a regular one. You can find it in fishing stores. It's just a thick rubber band, it has good elasticity, and it's quite durable. First of all, we need to find some kind of weight, preferably a metal one. Here I have some kind of metal piece and a rope is tied to it. And from the rope, I have about 10-15 meters of rubber band, guys. This rubber band will be cast into the water. After that, we tie a fishing line with a diameter of about 0.35, 0.3, which is quite thick, to this rubber band. And we tie the hooks to it. Now we'll show you how it looks. I have the rubber band wound up. It's like a spool, for the fishing line, you could say. Here. And next come the hooks. Usually, they make different types of spools. As you can see, the rubber band, I ran out of it. And it's tied to the fishing line, like this. And next we have the main fishing line. We have the hooks tied to the main fishing line. Here's the hook with the leader. Let's keep winding. We have with us 2 hooks with leaders. And there can be, guys, well, about 5 hooks. All you want. You see where it's under, it's tangled already because it's quite an old rubber band. With this kind of rubber band, you can catch not only whitefish, but also predators using live perch as bait. For example, I used to catch perch. And then I ran out of this tackle. What is it that I'm going to show you? We cast the weight further into the water, and the weight goes down, while the rubber band goes up towards the shore. And we have this kind of diagonal line, and our hooks are placed, guys. So I'll show you like this. We have the weight at the bottom, right here. And our hooks are placed at different heights. So with this tackle, we can fish through all the depths right away. Starting from, the very bottom, we go through the water column and up to the surface. So wherever the fish are, we can catch them everywhere. Now I'm going to show you how this tackle works. We take it, unwind the line, and spread everything out on the shore. You can see it. And the reel, so we need to thread the rod so we don't lose it. Now we throw our weight. It's important to spread everything out on a flat surface so it doesn't get tangled. The line didn't get tangled, and the hooks didn't get tangled. And now we make the cast. You need to be extremely careful so that when you cast, ensure that the hooks and the line don't get tangled up with your hands or legs. Carefully. Of course, because all of this can, guys, cause you injury. Now we need to find a stick and stick it in the water, like. And we need to reel it in a bit. And hook our tackle. Whoa! Well, here we are. I don't know. We attached it right here. You see, here's my fishing line. It's taut. And now we can take it like this and pull out our fishing line. Our rubber band stretches. The weight always stays on the bottom, guys. You see, it doesn't come this way, but our rubber band is coming out with us. Whoa! By stretching the elastic, we can work freely with the fishing line. And then change the bait and put it back in the water.
After Seryoga casts our rubber band, we need to hang some kind of indicator. We take a regular egg from a Kinder Surprise. Let's open and hang it up. We corrected a bit earlier. When the fish is biting, we will see the bite. Well, for example, it will tug on it a little. And after that, we need to make a sharp hook set, as Dima says. DB. That's good. Really intense. Continue with fishermen. Guys, you often ask where you can buy goods at a good price.
We would like to recommend you one free service called eCatalog. eCatalog is a free service for selecting products, where you guys can find any product that interests you. Whether it's a reel, a rod, or something else for fishing, or even, say, a mobile phone. You just enter the name of the product you're looking for, choose it, and this service shows you a lot of stores right away. With different prices. In short, without talking too much, we're going to show you all of this with Dima as an example. We have a wonderful service in front of us, eCatalog. We type fishing in the search. And now I'll show you an example with reels. In the selection of parameters, let's choose, for example, the manufacturer Daiwa. The type of reel is a spinning reel. and the spool size is from 3 to 3.5 thousand. We click show. The service shows us reels from this manufacturer with our parameters. Here we have the Daiwa Ninja 3000A reel. Let's look, guys. Right here, there's a description of the product. And we see the stores where you can buy this reel at the best price. You see how the prices differ. If it weren't for this service, we would have to search for all of this manually. And it's really convenient. Let's compare this reel with some other one. Here it is, Daiwa Ninja 301. Wait, how did... So, we ended up with this piece, and we make the same piece next to it, meaning you can cut quite a few of them. When I make leaders, I create a loop, like this on one of them, guys, so that this loop can go through the other loop. We take our loop and thread it onto this protrusion. We just put it on top, and now we simply wrap it around. We wrapped it around, and we can simply stab the end of the hook into our foam. We do the same with the second leader, threading the loop. And we start wrapping it around, and we stab our hook in. Here's the foam. Here's a very simple leader box. As you saw, it takes just a few minutes, friends. Yes, you might say, Sergey, it's very simple and it's quite fragile. But if you don't have a leader box and you're planning to go fishing, say, tomorrow, this is the simplest thing you can come up with to avoid wasting precious time while fishing. To tie leaders there in order... So, you've tied leaders of different lengths at home. You can use a marker to write down the length of the leaders, the diameter of the leaders, since the marker writes well on foam, as we know. There you go, everything's neat and cool. Tomorrow the fishing spot, you'll set everything up, attach it, start catching fish. Not wasting your precious time, friends.
Friends, here we have some maggots. And before they used to dye them with beetroot or onion skins. Today, we're going to do it a little differently and dye them with food coloring. We have 3 jars, and in one jar there are maggots. Well, now in another one.
A little bit here once in general, let's share, guys. Yes, we're making an equal amount here and there, and we'll show you how easy and simple it is to do, just like I'm doing right now. So, when you go to the store and you see red maggots, it means they are definitely dyed. Right now, Demon and I are going to take the food coloring. Demon, show the dye. There it is. And we have 2 colors for now. We have green and we have blue. And now we're going to add that in. Here we have diamond, and we need to add some drops of water to the terrarium. We're not adding too much. We added a little bit of dye, just a tiny bit. And just a little bit of water, a tiny bit more. And then we gently mix our little friends together. And in just a few short minutes, literally, it's amazing. They will become our guys with greens, they will all hatch.
And now we do the same with blue dye.
Yes, first a small amount of dye, and all this, guys, a little water, literally a micro drop, just a tiny bit more, just a little bit, and mix. Now our pair 6 in green light and in blue should stand for a while, and when they stand, they will receive blue and green light. This is a very simple way, I would even say, the simplest way, how you can paint maggots. The maggots won't instantly turn green or blue, guys. They need a little time for this, because they are painted not only on top. You can see there's already a greenish tint here, and these have already taken on a blue hue. But when they feed, they drink this water, so they eat, they pass it through themselves. And only then do they fully take on the color. Well, it takes about half an hour for them to really become completely green or completely blue.
Guys, and now here's the simplest hack. How to make a fishing rod outdoors. I used a fishing rod like this when I was little, and even when I didn't have any money, this is a fishing rod made from reeds. Guys, I always carry a reel with me in my backpack, and I can do it right now. To make the fishing rod, we just take it and tie it to the free end. To our fishing rod, we take our red powder that we made, and we grab our fishing rod and cast it.
Friends, Now I want to share with you a real grandpa's DIY project, or grandpa's fishing gear. You could say it's a life hack that allows you to measure the depth of a river or pond. So this is called a marker float. You don't need to buy anything special, just have some kind of simple float with you. Here I have a big float, like the one for live bait or for catching bighead carp, and some heavy weight, but in this case I'm going to use a marker weight. You can use any other one you have, even if it's homemade or some kind of nut. Now I'll tell you how to assemble this fishing gear. For this you'll need any fishing rod with a spinning reel. A 5-meter fishing rod, a spinning rod, whatever it is you have. It doesn't matter. Now I'll tell you how to put it together. On our weight, guys, there should be some kind of swivel or loop. We thread the line, or in this case the cord, and drop our weight. We don't tie the weight, it remains sliding on the line. This is how it slides on the line. And on our float we also have a loop, and we tie it to this ear, the main end of the line. So we have our line, a sliding weight on it, and here's the float. This amazing fishing setup. We have this amazing fishing setup, and now guys, look, I know that roughly on this spinning rod, from the start, mass of the spool, from the reel to the first ring, diamond. Well, the distance is about 90 centimeters. I'll show you how this setup works right here in the shallow water. So I throw it into the shallow water, and the float rises as weight hits bottom. But when I start to pull the spinning rod, the float goes down. If I let the line loose, it just lies there, and when I pull it tight, the weight stays on the bottom. This, guys, is indeed the marker setup. So we need to find out the depth of the water to know where to fish. We're making cast. Well, I made a cast about 10 meters and completely let it go. So right now, show it, diamond completely. Basically, the spool was released. Absolutely, I let it go. Now I'm clipping it. So, I'm starting to pull it in until the float lies down. Show it on zoom, see it. Floats down. Now, show me right here. I'm starting to pull it in until it stands up. Oops, the float has stood up. Now I'm slowly pulling the float all the way in until that moment, until I feel that it hits the weight, but the weight should stay on the bottom. Now I feel like that's it, my rod, you see, isn't working. It's fixed. The weight is on the bottom, the float is on the bottom. Now I'm loosening the drag. As I said, I know there's about 90 centimeters to the ring, and I'm starting to let it out. So, four. And our float popped up just when I did 4 times 9. How much is that, Demon? 36. That is, the depth here is about 3.5 meters. I'll irrigate now, but a little further to another depth. The cast flies, the spool, the line is open. The cord is given. And now our float should float up in that place with you guys. About our float floated up and lay down now. Friends, look what we need to do. Again, show Daimon. We take it and start reeling in until we hit the bottom, so right now it's going in easily. I can feel that our float is just going down to our weight. It's going down. It's going down more. Right now it's stuck for me, so you see the tip of my rod is under tension. If I start pulling harder, I'll end up dragging our weight, but since the float is at the bottom, what am I doing? I'm loosening the drag, as I mentioned. And I start measuring the distance. Well, I'll count how much it is to the ring as I let it out. 1, 2. I've let it out 3 times and our float still hasn't popped up. 4. 5. And it started to show up. 5. Well, about 5.5 turns. So that's 5 at 90 centimeters. 5 times 9. Is 45. 4.5 meters and a little more. We cast farther and the depth there is already greater. So we figured out that in the first spot we had 360 and there it's 4.5. Although the difference in cast is just a couple of meters. So there's a clear drop-off. Here, guys, in this simple way you can measure the depth or using a homemade marker float. Terrain, grasp.
Guys, I didn't know at all about this type of gear.
You didn't know the marker float?
I'm going to practice now.
You should practice, and I recommend all of you to learn this method, because a marker is always needed when fishing. Well, we've told you 5 DIY projects from the Soviet era. We also shared a few life hacks with you. Guys, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.
Something's ringing, I can't figure it out.
Looks, that's Bell.
Don't forget to click on it.
To not miss any new videos, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Guys, we wish you all good, cool, don't scratch your tail, don't scratch your head. And everyone, goodbye, see you soon. Let's go catch some fish on a rubber bait.